Net, if Donald Trump was president, here's what would happen to the U.S. economy. Donald Trump has had a lot of success in business, but how would he be for the economy as president? Here's how his economic policies would play out. There's no denying Trump has done a good job of making himself rich. He's worth somewhere between $4.5 billion and $10 billion, depending who you ask. Can he make the rest of America rich, too? The economy isn't something Trump looks forward to tackling. In a January interview with Good Morning America, Trump offered up a bleak assessment of the U.S. economy but added that, in terms of fixing it, it's a task he'd rather skip. "We're in a bubble," he said. "And, frankly, if there's going to be a bubble popping, I hope they pop before I become president, because I don't want to inherit all this stuff. I'd rather it be the day before rather than the day after, I will tell you that." In an April interview with the Washington Post, Trump reiterated his doomsday view of the economy, suggesting we might be headed for recession. But this time around, he appeared more open to the idea of his being in charge of finding remedies. I can fix it pretty quickly," he said. And most recently, he maligned the Federal Reserve for creating what he says is a false economy. Many Americans appear to believe that is the case, and that, more broadly, a Trump presidency would be good for the economy. According to a March CNBC All-America survey, Americans rate Trump and Democratic frontrunner Hillary Clinton evenly on key economic issues. And a recent CNN/Org poll shows Trump rating higher than Clinton on the economy among voters. Trump has certainly been this election cycle's most riveting figure. He initially focused his attention on immigration reform, calling for a wall to be built between Mexico and the United States, and demanding the deportation of 11 million undocumented immigrants. He has wavered on that last point as of late. He has since rolled out other policies and positions: a major tax code overhaul, repeal and replace Obamacare, renegotiate or break NAFTA, stop hedge funds from getting away with murder on taxes, reforming the Veterans Administration, and impose import tariffs as high as 35%. All while keeping the deficit in check, growing the economy, and leaving entitlement programs like Medicare and Social Security untouched. Immigration remains a major pillar of his campaign, and he has moved on to the question of Muslim immigration as well. He has laid out a plan to make Mexico pay for the wall, too. Trump has made plenty of enemies along the way, as well, including but limited to fellow GOP contenders Ted Cruz and Jeb Bush, New York Mayor Bill de Blasio, Fox News journalist Megyn Kelly, the media in general, and even the Pope. Those who fear Trump's plans should find common cause with those who love them. I'm not sure how much of what he actually says today will be his positions a year from now, said Michael Busler, professor of finance at Stockton University. Trump's own campaign has suggested he is playing a part to garner votes. While Trump certainly has some grandiose ideas and equally lofty rhetoric to accompany them, deciphering the exact nature of his economic policies is a complex task, according to John Hudak, a fellow in governance studies at Washington, D.C. based think tank the Brookings Institution. Not to mention the fact that if he does make it to the Oval Office, Trump won't have a free pass from Congress, even if it remains under the control of the Republican Party. As you'll see, many of his positions don't exactly hew closely to GOP policies. Taking legislative hurdles out of the equation, what will the U.S. economy and markets look like if Trump becomes number 45? Trump's immigration plans cost him a handful of business deals, but they might cost the United States much more. The American Action Forum, a right-leaning policy institute based in Washington, D.C., estimates that immediately and fully enforcing current immigration law, as Trump has suggested, would cost the federal government from $400 billion to $600 billion. It would shrink the labor force by 11 million workers, reduce the real GDP by $1.6 trillion, and take 20 years to complete. Trump has said he could do it in 18 months. It will harm the U.S. economy, said Doug Holtz, president of the American Action Forum and chief economic policy advisor to Senator John McCain's 2008 presidential campaign. Immigration is an enormous source of economic vitality. The impact would be felt on both supply and demand.